Welcome to the upstreamlife.com. I'm your founder and editor, Vishal Krishna. I talk to wonderful people. I talk to people who are building new companies, companies that can transform your future with technology. And such a person from a company called Ascendion is Deepthi, who heads their growth marketing. Deepthi, what are we going to talk about today?
So we are going to talk about Ascendion as a brand itself,
Absolutely.
the beautiful transformation journey we are in the Gen AI space,
Yes.
the innovations we are creating for our clients, the solutions we are taking to markets, the beautiful talent that we have, and everything else about the brand.
Everything else, and about her being a painter too, and how art has inspired her to become a wonderful leader. Enjoy the podcast, guys. Deepthi, thank you for being on the Upstream Life.
Thank
It's a
you for
pleasure
having
to
me.
have you here. Two, three things. You're a 25-year-old organization, but within that organization, Ascendion is a 2-year-old startup.
Yes.
Right? I want to know the history and how did it begin?
So, long journey again, long, beautiful journey. While we were a part of a different organization which we operated our business as, we saw some exponential growth where we found a need to establish our own brand. And that was the journey we began, I think, about 4 years back when I was also a part of the organization. And great business, great talent, great work culture, and I think, like I mentioned, there was a need to establish this brand. So that's when we said, okay, how do we go about this, right? And how do we give this a beautiful name that we can carry along? And there was a whole brand, workshop sort of a thing that we went through to finally nail the name down, because we believed in the culture, we believed in our people, we believed in business. And it was important that the name resonated the same thing, and people felt a belongingness to the brand. And I think eventually we came up with this name called Ascendion, which is a culmination of art, technology, and a lot of thought has gone into it. We have a tribal A that represents the brand, which we also say is inspired from the Avengers, and there's a bit of Doctor Strange in the brand, and so we position ourselves as a very young, cool brand.
Tech brand, yes.
Tech brand and new tech, right? New technology that we want to make for clients, and we want great talent to make this for the client. So that's the journey we set out on about 2 years back. And
so it started as a staffing and IT services company.
Yeah.
But then now it's a full-blown technology
It's a
company.
full-blown technology company where we also offer talent, right? And that's been our great USP, where we have skilled talent, and when there's when there's a client that needs a certain technology, we also give you the kind of talent that can cope up with this technology to make that journey beautiful for them.
It's interesting. So 4 years ago, this idea was sprung up at your parent organization. It's called Collabra, right?
Collabra, yes.
Right. And Ascendion was born out of it. And like you said,
Yes.
Ascendion is about transformation also.
Yes.
So what kind of clients do you work with? What sectors do you work with?
So we have a large sector that we sort of work with, from I think like financial institutions to healthcare to retail business to manufacturing to
Automotive.
automotive. All of them, and we cater to different sort of solutions that they need. Like, for example, I think recently for a healthcare unit, we sort of automated the entire system so they could filter customer data based on the customer history they have, right? And then offer solutions to the clients.
Correct.
To the
analytics is great.
yeah.
So you are basically setting the business context.
Yes.
So that's what you do. Give us some examples, right, for people to understand, because current technology is about transformation. It began with the cloud. The cloud enabled the data revolution.
Yes.
And then now we're talking about AI and Gen AI, right?
Yes.
So I would like people watching this to understand that this is what Ascendion does, and this is how transformative it is for clients.
So this journey, again, I think when we started off as Ascendion itself, AI has always been a part of what we do and how we deliver. So in terms of the productivity, in terms of time to market, in terms of the talent that we have. So it's a whole circle, that's coming together in this transformative journey for Ascendion. And Gen AI, I think, is like a huge thing in the market right now. And we are positioning ourselves as an AI-first organization, which is a platform-based, and we serve as an ally to our clients, basically in their transformation and innovation journey. And the offering that we give, the way we position this to the client is we sort of tackle three, four different challenges that they face in today's journey of being a part of this whole entire Gen AI space, where some face a crisis of speed, right? So the time taken to adapt to the new technology is, the sooner you get used to it or the sooner you
better for
adapt
you.
to it is better. And we have talent that we're reskilling and upskilling, so we can match this difference in terms of time to speed. And then in terms of trust when it comes to clients, okay, in terms of crisis of trust. So AI is again very new in this space. It takes time for clients to actually entrust a new service provider in this space, right? And that's where we have our own platform, which is called Ava Plus, where we train our people to deliver in this space. So in terms of trust, we tell them that we have skilled people to deliver this for you. And in terms of velocity, where we free up space in terms of maintenance and everything, so there's space for innovation. So they save some money there. So
it's great. You said this is like you allow large organizations think about their core and also transform that core.
Yeah.
And also the chores. I mean, the regular mundane work can also.
Yes.
You're freeing them
so
up.
you're freeing them up from the regular mundane work. So there is space for innovation, and you can do new things with.
This is interesting. Okay, so here's what I want to know. The market is huge. I was reading a Zeno report the other day, and they said that from 1,600 GCCs today in India, it'll double in 2-3 years. What kind of an opportunity is that for Ascendion?
Yes, that's a huge opportunity for Ascendion, and that's the path we are set on. So, in fact, we have been certified by I think HFS and Gartner as market leaders in the generative AI space.
Okay.
So that's a huge validation for people who are working and for customers who work with us, right? And we are completely committed to this journey that we are going to be on.
You want to talk about it with examples, Deepthi? Gen AI and how it's being used, or what are the tools that Ascendion uses?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I can do that. So we have, like I said, we have our own platform which is called Ava Plus, which is completely Gen AI enabled, right? So the entire software development cycle that you see from coding to deployment is infused with Gen AI. So basically, in terms of developer productivity, I think we're almost seeing like a 65% increase
in productivity.
Wow, yeah, and almost 50% faster time to market when it comes to deployment with the infusion of.
So these are your engineers? Or?
These are all ours.
Okay.
This is all Ascendion, yes, and digital ascender. So we call Ascendion. We call ourselves ascenders. And we have this platform which is called Digital Ascender. So we basically, it's your digital companion when we want to deliver work.
I think that's the beauty of Gen AI, is that a lot of work gets done faster. You can build boilerplate code immediately. And it helps your engineering teams to scale up.
Yes.
So is it basically used with clients? The clients come and give you saying that, look, we want this solution, and they build it?
Yeah, so it can work both ways. We are a plug-and-play sort of a situation. So whichever part of your Gen AI journey you are in, or whichever part of a data particular journey you are in, we can come and just plug and play this with you. This is what...
It's called Ava, right?
This is what Ava Plus does, right? So it's not about... we don't take time in analyzing previous data, and it's just a plug-and-play model, and that's been working really
Why
well
call it
for
Ava?
us. Ava was a crowdsourced name that came from
because I know there's an
themselves.
Ava I think it's in a Pixar movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking. I don't remember the movie's name.
Yeah.
It's a robot thing, right? So what does the name Ava represent to Ascendion?
So Ava was the first platform that we built that was our baby, right?
Okay.
And this was even before Ascendion was Ascendion, and we were operating as a different organization back then. And while the team was putting this entire platform together, and we knew it's going to be revolutionary because the kind of offerings and the kind of solution that we were building on it, we figured it needed an identity. And that is when we sort of shortlisted. We had stakeholders and leadership and all of them who threw in a few names, and then we ended up crowdsourcing the name from all the ascenders. So,
your team decided?
The entire team decided that they want to name it Ava.
Okay, and what's been the experience like so this thing was built ground up?
Yes.
And it was built for the GCCs, would you say? You can tell, what was it built for? I would like to know whether it was built for a lot of American companies coming into India, or would this platform be given to companies in America? How does it work? Or is
right now,
how collaborative is it?
Yeah, so I think it works both ways. We started off by giving this to our clients in America, because that's where I think major part of the business lies. But like you said, the near future is about providing the same thing in India as well. And so to answer your question, yes, it was built for that.
Okay, in 2 years, you're a massive organization, and I thought you'd probably be a 30-member team or something. You're a 6,000-member team.
We're about 6,000-member team.
And
yes.
you want to talk about the team a little bit?
So we're a huge team. I think we're based between India, Mexico, and the US. We launched the Mexico office just last year, which was a huge. We call it the nearshore.
A lot of people like Mexico.
Yes,
A lot of people like the parties, of course, but Mexico. I think a lot of companies are setting shop there, right?
Yes, a lot of companies are setting shop there because of the kind of talent we get, because it's closer to the US, which is our on-site model. So the nearshore model and the offshore model just works brilliantly in terms of time zones when we cater to customers and talent being available and everything. So we saw Mexico being launched last year, and they've just taken flight as well. And just last week, we launched our Chennai office, which we refer to as the AI studio right now. So with it's an innovation center where clients can come and experience what we have to offer for them.
It's a lab of sorts.
It's a lab of sorts. So we have the AI studios, like I mentioned, where we create these demos, we show them what we can offer. Great space for employees or the talent that's available to come and work. It's a great space that's been out.
No, I want to come there very soon and explore that. Okay, here is the thing about Ava, right? I want to continue with it. It is agnostic of industry.
Yes, it is agnostic of industry, yeah.
And it's collaborative. I mean, and the teams, right? You said there's a Bangalore team, there's a Chennai team. Of course, there's a team in Mexico, and there's a team in the US. This entire thing about building capability centers that are collaborative, this is phenomenal, right? That's the future, isn't it?
That is the future, yeah. So if you see, because most of the business is set in the US for us, so a lot of our clients, our market-facing team, the sales teams are all based out of there. Our entire delivery function and all the support functions are primarily out of India. And again, Mexico is also a delivery base.
Core engineering.
Core engineering. And the increase in business, we're also seeing a lot of clients who are based here who want the business here as well. So that's where the whole GCC concept also comes in, right?
This is a wonderful time for you, right?
Yeah.
What is the hiring? Are you increasing the hiring?
Yes.
I mean, because Gen AI, when you talk about it, Gen AI is not just a magic bullet, but you need to work on it. You need people to work on it.
Yes, we need people to work on it. So, like I said, our entire talent base is being reskilled and upskilled to Gen AI, right? So as soon as this whole industry shift started happening, I think we've seen different industry shifts in terms of internet, the cloud, and now we are in the space of Gen AI. And the sooner we adapt, the sooner we learn, and the sooner I think we grow.
Correct.
They say you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Deepthi. I want to ask you this, especially with Gen AI, right? I mean, and you as a marketer, when you go and sell this concept to different stakeholders, say, engineering teams, your leaders. What are some of the thoughts for you there? I mean, a lot of people think that Gen AI means, you don't need many people. But what they don't realize is you need people to build on top of it. It gives you the basic foundation.
Yes, it gives you the basic foundation, and you need to make Gen AI your friend, your digital companion, as we say, right? Because it's the people who learn to adapt to this who are going to grow, and if you don't adapt to it, you're going to be losing. So the sooner we make friends with the whole concept of Gen AI, I think it's better. Yeah.
So what are some of your thoughts internally in the organization? Do you do a lot of storytelling?
So I think as a company as a whole, we're already pretty much Gen AI enabled. So all our departments, from our recruiting, the HR, the finance, the marketing, all of them use Gen AI tools, and that's why we say we believe in it, and that's the only reason. I mean, that's how you can go sell it also, right?
Absolutely. If you don't use it, then why sell it?
If you don't use it, why sell it? So our recruiting teams use Gen AI-based platforms to sort of engage and deploy digital talent, and I think it's worked brilliantly for them. They save almost 50% of time. As a marketing team, we are completely Gen AI enabled.
That's interesting. And you were saying that it's easier to write copy now, right? For all those writers there who are scared to do our jobs, is that true?
Yeah, well, I think it's how you take it. It's not going to take your job, is what I think there was this
mundane
fear.
writing goes away.
Yeah, there was a fear initially that set in, I think, where people said copywriters will
die, but they won't.
Yeah, but they won't. I think use it as an enabler. It's just making you making things faster for you. And
do you remember day zero in Ascendion, and when you had to set the word going? I wanted to know, like you said, it's transformative, Ascendion. What are some of the techniques that you use to tell people that, look, I mean, clients, right? The clients would have known the older company, the
Yeah.
parent company.
Yeah.
But then to go sell as this concept, as a transformative tech company, what are some of the thoughts that you went through?
So I think when we made this decision of Ascendion, we already had a great relationship with our clients and talent. It was the need for the hour to have this name, and there were a lot of things that we ended up doing. So there were a lot of client events, a lot of events that we sponsored, a lot of road shows. In fact, we had almost a 25 city roadshow across the globe, so including the US and India,
For the rebranding effort.
to bring the brand in.
Okay.
Yes, so
For
we
the,
touched
not the rebranding, for the branding effort.
for the
pardon.
branding.
Yeah.
So we touched every office. Our leadership went into each and every single office and explained the journey of why Ascendion. So it got imbibed into each one as to, to resonate with the brand. So it went on for almost 6 to 8 months, I think almost a year, where establishing the brand itself was a journey, and everyone took it very brilliantly, including the clients.
And you were telling me, right, this is, usually it's you behind the camera,
Yeah.
directing stuff, and you're here talking to me, and that sets the context that you got to talk so much about it.
Yeah.
So great. So Ascendion, Ava Plus,
Ava
right?
Plus, yeah.
Right, and now obviously you've got teams in Mexico, Bangalore, USA, of course. The clients, right, when they talk about this appreciation of Gen AI, do you have client-facing conversations about Gen AI as well? Do they come and tell you?
Yeah.
About
Yeah,
it
we
too?
do. In fact, just last week I went into a meeting with one of the financial corporations where we were trying to understand what is the journey that they are going through, right? What is it that they need right now? Because we already have existing work running with them, and the explanation in terms of why even they need Gen AI, I think is huge. It's a huge market, and it was expressed very well from
The
from
meetings,
the
is
horse
it?
in the mouth itself. Yeah.
Okay, so they want it for transformation.
They want
right?
it for transformation. They want it for work done faster, productivity, quicker turnaround, and I think they are catering to their customers, and
Yeah,
they
I
need to
agree.
get things done faster
I
to
agree.
be a part of that entire journey.
No, it's,
So,
it's
yeah.
really well said, because the other day I was talking to a mentor of mine, and I was saying that we need to work with startups for Gen AI rather than put people to the problem. But he said, no, but what you don't understand is once the concepts of Gen AI are ready, you need people to scale it to a
Yes.
global organization.
Yes.
So
Yes.
would that be
That's
correct?
exactly what we're doing. Yeah, we're just scaling it at different levels. And like I said, the offerings that we have, the solutions that we have are all ready to do this for our clients, right? So scalability is huge for us when it comes to this whole Gen AI space. And that's exactly where we are.
Deepthi, I like the fact that you set this context with what Ascendion was, and the 2 years, how you grew to 6,000, the opportunities in Mexico to serve US, also from India to the US, this whole collaborative approach. And you said solutions, but now I want to go deeper into the solutions. When I look at Ascendion, you offer product engineering, immersive engineering, cloud management, and all the way to managing talent. It's so many things. I want you to substantiate this with examples.
Sure. I'll touch upon industry-wise,
Please.
and I think I spoke about the healthcare industry previously. So to just double tap into that, we basically, based on predictive analysis of customer behavior, we sort of deployed personalized recommendations in this industry, right? So, like I said, based on, the Medicare, the insurance, the treatments, so all personalized recommendations was deployed. That was one example. I think another example would be we did something for a racing company where we sort of understood the real-time performance of vehicle on the racetrack and deployed,
These
changes to
solutions
it during the pit stops, or had 3D renders that gave us immediate solutions. Another example would be for a shipping company, for a cruise line, where I think post-COVID we had a lot of restrictions in terms of onboarding process and the way people treated the entire travel experience. So we implemented an onboarding software which was completely digital, that sort of increased customer satisfaction and crew performance at the end of it.
And there's an e-commerce example you had earlier told me about.
Yeah, so basically we understood past data and sort of implemented personalized ads based on market trends and sales from the previous times. So that was another.
This is interesting, if people are watching this, and because the Gen AI comes in at every stage.
Yes.
Right? There is obviously, once you manage or or move data to the cloud.
Yes.
Got to engineer that and orchestrate that. Then from there on to have the experience coming out of that data. I think that's where Ascendion is, right?
Yes, that's exactly where Ascendion is, and I think with Gen AI, that's the experience, and the software engineering life cycle, as we call it. We're able to enhance that entire experience for our customers with Gen AI in this space right now.
Marketing this. I want to come back to the marketing aspect of this. Is it again? This is a boardroom to server conversation, like they call it, right? What are some of your leadership? What do they come and tell you that, Deepthi, this is what we want to do with this technology? How difficult or easy to market this?
So I think we are so rapidly evolving. So the requirement or the need that's been put forward changes literally every month or every quarter, right? So it is a bit of a challenge because by the time as marketers, if we have to understand the need of the hour at that point, and by the time it's implemented, it does take us some time. So for it to reach the market. So again, I think Gen AI has helped us a lot in that space where we are able to adapt and deploy these campaigns or requirements or these go-to-market strategies sooner than required. So we're keeping up to times and client requirements and the changes that are happening in the industry, I think, at like every level.
Yeah, I know, and it's so difficult to convince leaders, right?
Yes.
And what are these leaders saying? I mean, do you meet people globally because you travel? First thing, what do they talk to you about when it comes to marketing these technologies? What do they ask?
It's varied, right? It's very, so I think that most of the requirement is put forward by them already because based on the solutions that we have and the market that we belong to, we know what our strengths are. We know where we sort of belong and we know where we can captivate the market.
Yeah.
So even the people who are facing the clients or having these conversations, they know where our strengths lies. So it doesn't become too much of a challenge. It's sort of a teamwork that comes where we come in together and understand what really needs to be done, and we deliver.
Yeah, okay. There are many things to Ascendion, right? And a lot of people will ask me this, and so I'm asking this right now. The 2 years of Ascendion, right? You want to talk about going from zero to what you are now. I think you've got more than 100 clients, you said, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't, even when Ascendion was established, we already had business running, right? There was, clients believed in us, they believed in the work we did, talent believed in the brand, and it was just about creating that belongingness. So we already, people were already onboarded with us. Work was already getting done.
Okay, yeah. So the point I was trying to make, Deepthi, was that, okay, the day zero conversation, there's so many learnings. What are some of the learnings for you to get to several customers in 2 years? What is the task for you?
The task was to let people know we are Ascendion now, right? Because we operated differently before, not different name before, but work was done, business was done, like I said. I think the task in hand was to establish this brand now and to get people to associate with this brand the way we looked at it internally when we sort of set foot also. And I think the first year completely went into establishing the brand.
Like you said, earlier you said there's a road show. You went to different road shows and you tell people
told people the story of how we came about. Yeah.
Okay. And was that the most fruitful thing for you? I mean, in terms of 25 cities? Is that 25 cities, right?
Yeah, about 25 cities across. It was because a lot of people connected with the brand, especially both clients and talent.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of excitement for this entire new journey that we've set upon, and it was taken very well. And that's why the exponential growth path also that we are on is still just growing. There's no stopping.
And the opportunity is more because, like we were talking earlier, about 3,000 GCCs in India. It's only grown and grow. So your life is getting busier.
It's going to get busier because I think we are headed in the same direction, and that's where we also see Ascendion being number one.
Correct.
In the market space, yeah.
What about your leadership skills? And how do you manage time in a city like Bangalore?
So
apart from your travels, of course.
So as a brand, when the brand was born itself, we were a remote working sort of a setup, right?
You born during COVID, if I may say so.
You can say so, because it was during COVID is when even I joined the organization, and we were just about 60 to 100 of us between the US and India, and the brand was just so fresh, and we were trying to understand how to what to do with it, and how do we make this whole show, how do we get talent to associate with the brand, and that's where I played a very important role, right, where
and fresh kind of a communication.
fresh communication, brand resonance, brand positioning, because it was not very clearly defined, and we wanted people to fall in love with this brand because we knew it's going to go.
You said it's a tribal A, right? Why do you call it a tribal A?
So the tribal it's an interesting story again. When
please.
when we worked on the whole brand of, I mean, the naming of Ascendion. It was an entire workshop of, I think, about 2 to 3 months, where different thoughts and our vision, our mission, and our belief of what we believe in the brand was all put on a drawing board, and we were trying to see what's the best name that can come out, right? So a lot of inspiration was drawn from Avengers, from like Doctor Strange, from art. As such, while naming this.
Did people appreciate it when you suggested these things, that, okay, we need to be cool?
Yes.
We need to resonate with the youth, because a lot of there are lots of young engineers in
Yeah,
India, right?
yeah.
Well, what did they say? I mean,
Yeah,
I thought all these engineering companies would be boring to them.
So we didn't want to be one of those boring companies as such.
So it made your life easier, is it?
Yeah, made my life easier because I think I resonated with the brand too eventually. And the idea was for people to come and feel energetic about being in this environment.
So it's all about being a superhero in a new transformative environment.
Yeah.
Was it easier?
Yeah, it was definitely easier because I think, like I said, when we were we were still building the brand, so we believed in the core of it, and that's what I think that's what resonates to people who join us at whichever part of the journey.
Okay.
So
okay, here are some more questions. I mean, a lot of people don't know that you're a painter, an artist yourself. Is that something that helped you? Would you ever thought that your hobby would one day be applied in marketing?
Not really actually, but I think as I was growing up, I've always had an affinity towards art and creativity. That just came to me naturally. People at home were like the black sheep of the family type sometimes, because usually the path you set in is like a finance or HR and all of that. But art came to me naturally. It's something that I like. It allows me to think. It opens my mind up. It's sort of a meditation zone for me, right? When I get into the space of painting and thinking, and it just opens my mind a lot. And in terms of when we come into the marketing space also, it's stories that we're taking forward. It's the journey of the customers, the employees, the brand. And marketing is all about bringing that story alive to let people know what's this journey about. And I think art really helped me there because to bring this entire thing to life.
What do you paint on?
Canvas or like sketching.
Okay. Oil and canvas?
Canvas. Acrylic.
Okay. Acrylic mostly. And particular themes? Is it people or is it places?
It's mostly landscapes.
Or is it just abstract?
Landscapes.
You're a landscape painter,
landscapes,
is it?
Yeah.
It's interesting, when people who paint landscapes, right, they're usually brainiacs, but it's not a copy, right? Do you look at a landscape, do you copy, or you just imagine?
I've tried both. So I wouldn't call myself a painter. I mean, I'm an amateur painter, but it, like I said, it just helps me open my mind. So I do see I take inspiration from a lot of existing art to make my own art.
Okay, when did you start all this? How old were you or something?
I think I was about 8, 9 when I started getting into as kids, you go for drawing classes, and that's when you're experimenting to see what you like, what you don't like.
And it just stuck with you since?
Just stuck with me. I tried different, watercolor, fabric, different.
Okay. And you're a Bangalorean at heart, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you've seen the city change so much,
Yeah.
right? And how did you transform with Bangalore? Do you think that I think Bangalore is such a quiet town when we were growing up.
Yeah.
It's so busy now.
It's completely busy.
So what's your take on Bangalore today?
Bangalore is always home, right? That never changes. Of course, it has changed in terms of its infrastructure and the kind of opportunities that the city provides. But I think it's a live wire. That life in Bangalore still doesn't is still always there, right? With whatever else that we have to
There's that
face.
energy, no?
There's that energy that you find as even a fellow Bangalorean also. You just get that
vibe. Yeah,
vibe
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So Ascendion is hiring, right? And don't give me the number of how many you hire every year, but I'd love to know, do you ask what type of people apply? These are designer engineers or these freshers or these are high-end engineers? What have
So
we been looking for?
it's a robust again charter of kind of people we hire, right, from freshers to like mid-level people, because we also operate in something called circles, which is our community. It's a community of practice. So we don't operate like department or like practice-wise, department-wise. We belong to a circle. So each talent that gets hired, they're offered mentorship, upskilling, within and cross team understanding and cross project implementations as such when they perform in these circles. So the talent that we hire come from different walks, mostly
Walks regions.
walks regions, and we were not very particular that we need to hire people only from like the metro cities, because we believe skill is more important than names as such.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even when we started hiring maybe 2-3 years back, we went into the tier 2, tier 3 cities.
The talent is good.
The talent is amazing. So we literally have people who work from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. There was a story that we made on that.
That's interesting.
So yeah.
And what about women in leadership, man? I'm curious about that. Do you think? I thought when growing up in Bangalore, you always had women leaders.
Yeah.
What? And you say your mom's also your inspiration, right?
Yeah, totally.
Same here. So what? Do you think that's changed now? More so in corporates. What do you think?
It has changed a lot. In fact, in the organization that we belong to, self-diversity and all of that is, and women empowerment as such is a huge thing. We have a lot of different initiatives that we've implemented, a lot of opportunities given, and I think the whole remote working helped a lot of women join the organization. And we recently ran another campaign which was called Ascend Again, where we said, mothers or like women who've generally taken a break in life, we take them back, give them the right amount of training and deploy them back into the whole life cycle of job.
You've done that, is it?
We've done
and
that.
these are all engineers or?
All mostly engineers, all engineers and developers across. This was just after we established Ascendion as a brand.
Right.
This was one of our initiatives.
You know what's interesting is both of us are BCom students, right?
Yeah.
And the interesting aspect is you ended up in a tech company.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened the wildest of
No.
dreams many years ago for most of us. It would have been CAs or if not CAs, some accountant or something of that sort, or maybe, right? So for women, what would you recommend? I mean, in terms of leadership, a lot of women give up engineering. Do you say that come try it out? Is there a path to leadership within your organization?
Yes. So I don't think, like I said, we are most welcome to all of these people, right? Especially people who've taken a break or people who want to start a different journey, like probably have done engineering for the longest time but want to start their journey in HR or marketing. Yes. The company is very open to opportunities like this. And we have a lot of women who've been hired in this space who are leaders currently in the different verticals. So there is enough training that's given. There's enough opportunities given for these leaders to emerge.
Is there training for them?
Yes. Yeah.
Engineering training?
Engineering training, so we have different kind of learning and development trainings that get developed, like a generative AI being like
I was about to get to that. Thank you for reading my mind. So a lot of women who take a break after maternity maybe, or just generally a break and come back, and technology changing as fast as it is, especially things like Gen AI, they may be good at engineering languages, so you put them up to speed with these new tech?
Yes, that's exactly what we do. Live models, I think currently we have over 1,500 plus our own talent who are enabled with the whole concept of Gen AI, right? So anytime somebody new joins us also, the mandate is to get them to train. So they reskill and upskill to become to join us in the journey that we are in right now.
This is fantastic. So all your GCCs watching there, do contact her on LinkedIn and she'll tell you why you got to go to Ascendion. Or even if you're a talent, just write to her on LinkedIn. But most importantly, understand that life is about transformation.
Yeah.
And here's a 2-year-old company transforming you into the new generation of technology and business transformation.
Yes.
Thank you, Deepthi, for being on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much, Vishal. It's been a great.
Thank you.
Thank you.